if you show politicians that you're independent-minded, that you are going to vote for the person that you want to vote for, not because they're going to give you money, you will put all of them in check. In places in Europe, having marijuana is not a crime.
Yeah.
It is, it's been decriminalized completely in some countries.
We should decriminalize it here? I think it's out there, really.
That's the reality. The judges are smoking it. The lawyers are smoking it. Doctors are smoking it.
Soldiers are
smoking it.
Politicians are smoking it.
The kind of money some people spend on burials and the Ayashwebi and the whatever is not how shall I put it? I don't want to abuse anybody.
Well, you can. Anybody who feels abused can. They can take you to court.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
They can go to court.
It doesn't make sense.
Auntie, how are you, Miss Ransome-Kuti?
Fine.
How are you doing?
And that's a question you don't ask any Nigerian because they start telling you all the problems they've been having.
I'd love to hear some of the problems you have.
But
after you've told me yours, and I tell you mine.
Then the program ends.
Usually, the first problem you hear from people is that of money, not being able to eat. They talk about things like that. Yeah. But how are you anyway? How's your health?
I'm fine. Hanging in there, as they say.
Well, aren't we all? Being near the departure lounge.
Yes, on the queue.
On the queue.
Yes. But we're very grateful and appreciative that we have life, and we have so many good things still happening in our lives. Our children, some successes here and there. I just buried a close friend yesterday.
Yeah, you said so.
Yeah. So
when you bury a close friend like that, then when you wake up the next morning, what occurs to you?
I'm going to have to be at Timeless in the next one. So I better get up
and go.
So
I buried. Well, I heard. A friend died yesterday, but we haven't made that arrangement. But every time that happens, I tend to think that, there's less time to go. I have a sense of urgency to see if I can, if I can tidy up. And so, you have a will?
I have, but it certainly needs to be updated.
It needs to be updated.
And one has that consciousness of time, as you said it, that it's not, you don't have all that the time.
You don't have all the time, and it can come at any time.
At any time,
in any form.
Absolutely.
But don't let it happen now.
Absolutely. It's not in. You are not in control, unfortunately. So you have to be intentional and conscious of the things that you need to do to make things less difficult for your children. And any loose ends, tidy them up. I'm sure a lot of people will also begin to think of, who have I offended?
Yeah.
Let me go and make and resolve whatever it is. Because I always remember this bit in the Bible about forgiveness, and that you have to forgive 70 times 70 or something.
What do you think happens?
You cannot be forgiven unless you have forgiven everybody else.
Yeah. What do you think happens to people when they die, though? I sometimes wonder, I say, so if I die now, what is it? What's likely to happen? There are different accounts. I wonder which one you believe.
Well, when one thinks about it, I first of all, I can't believe in a God that creates something like hell.
So you think there's no hell?
I don't think there's a hell. But
is there a heaven?
I wouldn't call it a heaven. I don't think there's a heaven either. I think it's possible there are states of mind. And depending on your belief, you will experience, your mind will experience what you expect to experience. Because
really?
Yes. Because
so it's not the same for everybody?
When we dream, we have We go to places, we're doing things. We live in a virtual sphere, so to speak. So if that's what you believe, when you die, that belief system that is in your mind, in your mindset, will reenact itself. If you've been nasty to people and you've been killing and you've been marauding, you will experience the consequences of that.
So what do you think will happen to you when you go?
I'm always at peace with my God. Always.
So you'll be in a nice peaceful.
So I would just be floating.
Peaceful garden. You just be floating.
I would just be floating.
Say hello to everybody.
As my elements are being reconfigurated. You know, there are people who believe in.
You think you might reincarnate?
Reincarnation. I think there's reincarnation of elements.
Yeah.
Because as a plant it grows and it flowers and the seeds go down, it grows again. So it's not the same seed that was planted. But
you don't think we are going to have another Yemisi Ransome-Kuti?
Unlikely. You can't afford
okay, but
have two of us.
For example, look at part of the Yoruba thinking is that's why you have Iyabos and Babatudes and so on. Yes. You don't think you might want to come back to the world, or that you even have a choice as to where you want to come?
I don't want to come back. That's for sure.
You don't want to come back? No, where do you want to go?
Once is enough now. I don't want to go anywhere.
You don't.
Life is pros. You know, it has negatives.
I mean, I'd like your cousin to reincarnate.
Fela
Kuti.
I think life for most people who have lived it effectively will say, okay, I'm done. I've had it, I've done my bit. Let somebody else do it. Because it has its challenges. If you're a truly authentic person and living life to the full, you will have had experiences. Some will be good, some will be bad. Some people will abuse you, so you get into this and that, and you'll be confused at times, and things that you thought were you doing good thing, you get to a nasty result. So it's a very complex environment. Life itself, it's a complex journey of the soul. Yeah. The body is just clothing a soul and your spirit. And your body will be the one experiencing all the hardships, all the illnesses, and all the attraction for material things. The soul does not need clothes, does not need anywhere to live, does not need food.
But the soul doesn't want to be naked.
The soul needs the body to clothe it.
To clothe it.
And to clothe it decently, and to carry it in a way that will celebrate that soul.
Yeah.
So, and we now have to figure out how we do that.
Look at people's attitude. I'm sorry we're starting on a macabre note, but maybe it's the first place to start. First reality of life before we can then talk of more pleasurable things. But in recent times, as you and I spoke about how a common friend of ours, a big friend, big brother to me, but your contemporary, and he said he wanted to bury within an hour of his death and so on and so forth. He seems to have some kind of finality to everything. You feel that same way too? Well, I'd like that they should wait a bit in case I wake up.
Well, it's important to make sure that you are dead.
You don't want to wake up.
You don't want to be in a coma, and then you are inside. You wake up, and that's what this wake keeping. Yeah, the word wake keeping came from.
Oh, really?
Because in Europe they used to bury people, and they find that it's either they're in a coma because the medical field was not maybe as it is now.
No.
So many people used to be buried alive. So that is why they designed this wake-keeping concept. Yes, so that we will be waking and looking at you for some time.
If you don't
wake,
wake,
you're gone. And then they used to construct graves where they would put the coffin in the grave, and then they would put a bell
ahead of that.
Yes, in the grave, and a bell upstairs on top of the grave,
yeah,
and a rope down into the coffin, so that if you wake up, you can't
push the bell.
Yes. So yes, make sure you are gone. And for me, the rest of it is nonsense. The way we do it, the way many people do it, there's so much ceremony. I mean, I just buried a very good friend who said, within 3 days, you must bury me.
You must bury me.
And it was done. Yeah. No keeping them in the morgue forever, servicing of song. I mean, okay, if you've lived, I mean, it's not possible to bury a Wole Soyinka or a Fela or many of the people that we celebrate here without wanting one or two associations or whatever groups who they belong to
pay their honor,
pay their respects, But it shouldn't be. Even with Fela, I don't think we kept him forever,
So less than a week.
Yeah, we allowed the people to celebrate his life. They followed him all the way to Kalakuta, and he was buried. I think that's the way it should be. The kind of money some people spend on burials and the Ayashwebi and the whatever is not how shall I put it? I don't want to abuse anybody.
Well, you can. Anybody who feels abused can. They can take you to court.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
They can go to court.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let's become more. And I think it's more recent in recent times that in the old days they used to do it relatively.
You forgot.
Simply.
Do you remember the good old lorry? That was the hearse that was used in the 60s. One dark lorry. Once it shows up in the neighborhood, everybody runs for cover.
So let's get back to reality and stop wasting so much money and doing things that are not important.
You're the head of the Ransome-Kuti, and that's a big responsibility. I'm sure that you'll be very proud to have a family that is reputable and has contributed more than average to society. Of course, even before we get to the sets of Fela and so on and so forth, first generation, Mrs. Ransome-Kuti,
JJ,
start from JJ down to Mrs. Ransome-Kuti,
so
then to Fela, Beko, and Dr. Beko and Prof. And again, you have Femi again, and all to then from Femi again down again to
we have met some of them.
The baby I want to see from your family.
Some of them are on song. Some of them are on song because they're not in the music. You only hear about the musicians. We have professors. My daughter is a professor.
Yes, but I'm talking of the very popular ones that people know.
They're popular in their own area.
Is Professor Wole Soyinka part of the Ransome-Kuti family?
Yes, he is. His mother is Eniola Ransome-Kuti.
Ransome-Kuti. Wow. That's a big responsibility. Did you have an election? Did you have did you have to have INEC 12 to 3rd before you became the Odorebi? Or did it just go?
No, it's just the oldest of a generation.
Okay.
I'm the generation of Fela, Beko, and all that. So I'm the last one of that generation. Wole Soyinka happens to be of that generation below me. So even though he's older, he is of the next generation. In terms of
he's boss of the family.
No, we don't have that kind of stuff. We don't even have the belief that you must have hierarchy. You must be respectful of everyone.
Everyone, yes.
You must. In fact, the younger ones are the ones who terrorize us because we want to encourage them. We want to support them to voice their opinions, to experiment, to let us know what's happening in their world. So we don't have it. In fact, being in a family like this where you have that kind of structure, it makes it very easy. It's challenging to be in a famous family, famous family, because eyes are on you. Whatever you do is being analyzed. And the first thing when I was young was people will expect me to be smoking Igbo. No way.
Never smoked it?
No. I may have tried once, but
how did you feel?
It's not something that I want as a lifestyle. But we had those differences. We had people who wanted us to behave in a particular way because fella behaved in a particular way.
Did you think that? Did you have part of the problem? With some problem during that time that, for example, people would say, "Don't associate with you." Back then, because you were fella's sister,
cousin. No, I never had that experience. But even though fella was, when I was growing up, fella wasn't as famous as he became.
He became later in life.
He was just in fact, he was in England at the time, still studying to become for his music degree. And it was fun in the sense that he would, when he played in, is it St. Pancras? There was a hall in London that he used to come. He had a small band in England at the time, and he would come. So it was fun that anywhere he went, of course, I can get in free. So that made you very popular. So there was no blowback then, but he wasn't that famous. Just that, a number of young people liked his music. It was different, and one was fairly close to his wife then, so it was more of a family thing. His music was not. It's they say that a prophet in his
is not accepted in his own home.
You don't think of your cousins as famous. He's just your cousin, you like him, you like the fact he's playing music. It was no big deal. You did not see him as a...
You didn't idolize him or anything?
At all. In fact, I didn't particularly like a lot of his music. I don't think I ever bought a record of his.
Really?
I like some of the songs, but, I get most of it free anyway. But I was more of a fan of Sonny Ade.
Really?
Actually. Yes. And then the British musicians, the Caribbean
reggae and
reggae,
You didn't like rock though? Hendrix and Santana and things like that?
Not really. I don't think I was that much of a fan. I was a bit old-fashioned. I liked Jimmy Cliff and when I was at school, I didn't like Elvis Presley. Cliff Richard, and so that was, so that was the kind of taste one had.
Did you like any particular musician because of the love songs? I mean, because in your generation, love was expressed to a large extent through music. You remember the love song?
Yes.
You remember the music book?
I like, there was a song. Send a message to Mary. That was the name of
tell her what I've done. You can tell her I have to
the world. Tell her the ship sets sail.
Who sang that song? Wasn't it the Heavenly Brothers?
The Heavenly Brothers.
I think it was the Heavenly Brothers.
Yes, I liked them. I liked John Baez.
What about this one that sang "This World Is Not My Home"?
Which one was
Jim
that?
Reeves.
Jim Reeves.
That was a popular song. And highly philosophical.
I think Jim Reeves was even old, an earlier period. I wasn't a Jim Reeves fan as such. I don't remember.
Did you dance the twist?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's twist away like we did last summer.
I'm taking you down memory lane.
Absolutely.
Did you club a bit in your younger days? Story.
I don't know how we managed to get past our exams in those days, because from Friday night, you go to what's the name of this club in Notting Hill Gate? always a group of us. And there were a lot of Liberians in London at the time. It was Liberians.
How old were you then?
Foreign. 18, 19, 20, that kind of, So we'll go from college, go to the nightclub, forget the name. And so that was Friday night. Then usually somebody's got a party on Saturday. Sunday you manage to maybe quickly do some homework, finish or whatever. That's if you woke up at all. And then,
of course, you were drinking then.
I'm not somebody who drinks a lot, but you drank, but it wasn't like maybe you had 2 glasses,
Okay.
You didn't get drunk, A lot of the boys did. Boys are more adventurous. They want to test. Yeah. They want to test the...
Do you remember any of the boys at that time?
Yeah, of course I do. There's still some of them are still my friends.
And they're still boys?
Okay. Well, it was all
it would be nice to know 1 or 2 of them then.
No.
One of the boys then.
No. But, it was Liberia. Our friends were from Liberia. Some were Ghanaians. A lot of them are big boys now. They're successful billionaires. So I'm not going to mention their name and tell people that we used to go to the club together. And
what do you think will happen if you did mention that?
Nothing, but it should be etiquette. That says that. Etiquette.
Next time, what we'll do is that we'll send.
Unless they have signed to you. Okay,
we'll send a notice to them. Mention that let them go to court. In Nigeria now, you can do practically everything and tell people to go to court. But when Fela was having his travels, were you with him?
Traveling?
His travels when he started having problems with government, burning of Calcutta and all this.
Some of the time I was here in England, in Nigeria. I was in Europe some of the time. But I was very, the family will always have some conversations when these things were happening. Of course, we were very upset about it. And concerned about him. And, locking him, arresting him and all of that.
Were there any attempts by the family to say to him, if you can leave this thing and stuff like that? Or he was urged on?
No. The family has a strict code of conduct. You know what is allowed and what is not allowed. And if you cross the line, you face the music. You take responsibility for what you do. So the family is not going to go and beg anybody to release you. We will be concerned about your situation. But if you went against the law and you are caught, then you have to.
Okay, well, like for example, when Calcutta, his house was burnt.
Well, that was
tragedy.
That was the government. Of course, military government. They just did as they pleased, and we as mere mortals, bloody civilians. Who are we? They just did, and they could not take criticisms of any kind. So to now have somebody who has a megaphone talking about them, he was, you are like enemy number 1. So they're going to find any which way to deal with you. But that's part of protest. That's part of holding government accountable, that we have to speak up. They'll come out, even if they didn't have the excuse of whatever you did.
Come after you.
They're going to come after you once you start challenging their authority. So yes, we were concerned, but he was somebody who believed in that. He's somebody who was ready to, go to whatever length to make his point, to say that, look, this is his right to do. In places in Europe, having marijuana is not a crime.
Yeah.
It is, it's been decriminalized completely in some countries.
Do you
That's what he
think we
believed.
should decriminalize it here?
I think for something like that, it's always important to have a debate, because we have a very multi-dimensional, ethnic, dynamic society. And you cannot bring things that are so way out of the supposed norm of the society without having that conversation. When the society gets, even in Europe, they were like us.
And I think the decision was that since you couldn't bring it under control, you couldn't criminalize it successfully. Then
you lock everybody up.
Put it,
and
I think it's out there, really.
The reality,
that's the reality.
The judges are smoking it. The lawyers are smoking it. Doctors are smoking it.
Soldiers are
smoking it.
Politicians are smoking it.
There are obvious dangers to it, because even the first time to take it, you could be somebody who's susceptible, so it will lead you to harder drugs. Marijuana itself, it's used for medical treatments.
They come after poti.
They can buy it.
Have you ever made a tea or something out of it? Nice cup of tea, squeeze.
But the funny thing about Fela was that when he started his music,
yes,
he didn't even smoke. He
didn't.
He got high on Coca-Cola. When he drank his Coca-Cola, that was enough to get him, going. So it was a lifestyle he chose, and the consequences thereof. I don't think many of his children do. I don't think they do. They don't. So.
Well, I don't know.
They don't. They don't. Let me even be categoric. They don't. Because again, when you were asking me about the culture of the family, it's about choice, about bringing children up to understand themselves, their limitations, their strengths, and taking responsibility, having the capacity to take decisions, to be independent thinkers, not Mr. Follow, not Mr. Zombie. You don't just follow because somebody said so. Whether they're senior to you, I cannot command them to do anything, because I'm head of the family. I will have to discuss it with them and come to a decision that is acceptable to them and everybody else. That's why I say that's the easy part. The difficult part is managing all the controversy. Are you like that? You do that, and because you are this, then you must be that. Which is irritating, because it means that person is not using their head. I'm not that person, so why do you think I must be like that person? So,
but tell me, what has pushed you through life up to this point? I can safely say that I can't ask you your age. That would be impolite. But I can safely say that you're well over 70.
I'm 78 this year.
Oh, 78. Wow, you don't look it. You're still a babe. If you excuse my rascally word. Do you get toasted still? No. I wish I could ask some other person in the studio. Do you still get toasted? I'm sure you do. By even younger people.
I will tell you, all women
get toasted.
Are toasted. There will be some man somewhere. No matter whatever you are, whether you think you're not attractive or whether you think you're big or small or this or that, some man will think you are wonderful.
But do you?
That's the nature.
Are there any?
Of man.
Without mentioning names because of etiquette, like you said, but are there one or two that are particularly?
There are more than
insistent?
One or two. They are
really?
Always.
They're hot.
It's up to you to manage relationships, because I don't like leading people on.
Okay.
I'm not interested in having a one-on-one relationship at this age. I'm so comfortable where I am.
All by yourself?
All by myself, that I think any additional element...
But tell me, what has finally put you off dating? What has... something must have put you off. I mean...
I don't think it's a put off. You know, as you just grow into some stages in your life where your lifestyle is more suitable to who you are, and the kind of things you enjoy are determined by much deeper needs. You know, you're not going to have children anymore, so the jiggery-poggry bit is not essential.
Yeah, but it could be a good playing ground. It's a good form of relaxation.
For men,
it's good. They say it's good for the mind and good for the body.
For men, I think a lot of women don't have the same needs.
Oh, you think so?
They don't. They do.
Well, I'm not a woman, so I wouldn't know.
So I'm telling you for real, they don't have the same needs. And because I think we are more complete in terms of...
Are men incomplete?
Men seem to need that companion,
validation,
that something from a woman.
Yes.
Women don't need it.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. We don't. We're made to be more complete and be more self-satisfied, and we have the capacity to provide whatever it is that we need in terms of... You know, you don't need anybody to cook for you.
Cook for you, yeah.
You don't need anybody to clean the house. You can employ
those lonely nights?
Do that.
Those lonely nights. The nights when it's cold and you hold a teddy bear instead of a human being.
You're not in England now.
It's cold. Oh, yeah, one be.
Which cold nights? And that's why I say I don't like to be prescriptive, because we're all different. There may be some women.
There may be some women,
who need to have.
So is it that?
Don't.
I need to get something right now. Is it that it's the emotions that are gone, or the physical body itself can no longer be stimulated?
We need a psychologist too. Anyway, is it psychiatrist? Who do we need here? Like I said, it just depends. I think people just have to be honest with themselves. Know yourself. You know, I'm sure there are women my age who still need to have physical needs. Who have those kinds of emotional needs. You know, I have a whole host of male friends. If I want the emotional exchange, you know, that
you have more than enough.
I can't even deal with all the ones I have in terms of, you know, I go to my club, I have 1,001 men I can talk to and relate to. If I want that feedback of how a man thinks or how a man views, and they're very close to me, and they're all very protective of me. They're all very respectful of me.
You kind of get irritated these days if a man is coming up front to say,
thank you for putting it nicely.
Well, that's notice out there for those who had...
Actually, I was thinking about it when I was coming here, because I used to do a lot of work with agencies and organizations, the heads of this group or that group, and we will always have meetings. And I was very busy in my, you know, up till like 65, you know, even 70, with all these organizations as the executive director of the Nigerian network of NGOs.
Yeah.
So I was always going to meetings and all of this sort of whatever. And a man will always say, you know, oh, we need to discuss it. Or if I said, you know, this area we really need to have, you know, a little bit more depth. Oh, yes, let's meet somewhere. And I remember somebody invited me to Chocolat here to say, yeah, let's have that meeting there. And I thought, it's fine, because I had a meeting somewhere nearby.
Yes.
So I thought we'll stop by, have the meeting, and then go on to whatever. And he was just talking nonsense. I said, look, why are you wasting my time? You know? And men should know that it's not every woman that is interested in you. And it's not every woman that is interested in that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of men don't even care. You can be married, you can have 10 children.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You know, and I think it's disrespectful. I think it's something African men have to learn, that because I think they have also been encouraged by a lot of women to think that, you know, every woman just wants something from them, you know, whether it's financial support of one kind or the other, or a relationship. Let me just be one of them, Sha. Mm-hmm. You know, what surprised me was a woman asked me to marry her.
A what?
A woman.
Are you kidding me?
Just brought it to mind now. So it's about the transaction.
Wait. You were shocked.
I was looking at her. What's wrong with what's wrong with you?
What kind of vibes do you think you let out?
No, because I have come to the conclusion that it's transactional. It's not, they don't want the emotion, the loving, and the other things that go with, you know, closeness in that way. They see you as somebody who is capable of taking care of them financially.
That's the catch.
That's it.
Even for the men.
Even from some men. Some men know it's not about that. They're just following that whatever is it, testosterone, whatever you guys call it. Just that's driving you crazy, that you cannot control yourself. And that's why I keep telling
some of them, not me.
I keep telling the parents that the best gift you can give your child is the gift of self-discipline. Help them to learn it very early. Not giving them what they want when they want it, whether male or female. Let them learn to just say no. I don't have
I'm
to
not doing this.
I'm not doing this. I may want to do it. It's not the right time to do it. It's not the person I should do it with. It's wrong to do it. Just that capacity to control yourself. It will cascade and transform our country, because it will apply to those who are in government. It will apply to those who are. Look at this nurse that was denying that the video that went viral.
The lady in the UK.
In the hospital in is it Abuja? Somebody brought a patient.
Yes, I saw that one too. Yes.
And this young woman, it's because she lacks self-discipline. A lot of us are irritated by circumstances or things happen. You just have to hold yourself back and think first before you say or act. So it's that area of self-discipline, I think, that a lot of men have not. Well,
it seems to be missing in our society, and it brings me to the current state of affairs, where the excuse for poverty has thrown away all the protocols we used to observe in everyday living. You know, we seem to live in a society now where anything goes. And I wonder what you think of that. It's worrying. Even what we just said as a big joke now, and how, for example, you feel insulted when you are approached by some men. I mean, some men, you might have one or two cases where you'll be able to say, no, Bayo, no, I'm not interested, and he will do the honorable thing and back off. But we seem to have thrown away a lot of our norms. And the direction in which our society is going is frightening. The chairman of the EFCC granted an interview recently and was telling his host journalist, my colleague in I think it was TVC or something, that do you want to know those less than about 22 who are multi-billionaires and millionaires in Nigeria today? Something totally unheard of in the past. I wonder what you think of our society now as
Well, it's part of what we're saying, that the parents have abdicated their responsibility, and then we blame government. Who are the people in government? They're people who are brought up by people, by parents.
By parents.
Who at the very early stage should have infused in them the discipline they will need to navigate life, the discipline that they will need to control their instincts. We're all basic animals, really, when we are born. You just want. You're a child, you're a baby, you cry if you don't get it, you must have it. You throw tantrums, So the parent has that responsibility to ensure that by the time that child goes to school and is beginning to mix with other children, they have begun to understand that principles matter, values matter, not lying matters. When I was actually giving a lecture yesterday to a group of lawyers. They invite me every year to talk to them, and the topic was mastering self-awareness, and the principles of authentic leadership, and the principles, the values that you have of mindfulness, of trying to understand what is right from wrong. Never mind what people even tell you. You have a responsibility to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
It is not enough to say, "Oh, they didn't tell me," or somebody misinterpreted the law to me. If you go and disobey the law, you should be punished for it.
Yeah, you do the time.
You do the time. And we have parents these days, I find a whole host of them, have bought into the materialistic gospel. It's even preached in the churches. You must have money. You must have a lot of it. 10 cars is not even enough. You must be prosperous. You must be wealthy. That's not what we came into this world. That's not what the Almighty created us to do in this world. It's not just the acquisition of what you need, and how much do you need as a human being anyway to live, eat, and die. You need very little.
Yeah.
The rest of it is about co-creating the universe, your country, your community. How do you engage with others to build and build what you want? Not saying somebody else is not building it, and therefore we just go on a protest and we shout and scream. We all have a responsibility to build this nation, and that those values are taught at the early. That's where it's most important, because it's much more difficult to change a child once they're going out into the real world and they're mixing with others and they're getting other people telling them, and they're meeting other children from different backgrounds and all of that. So if we must get our country right and our world right, some craziness is going on in the United States at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is down to the same thing. Values have been lost at some point. Parents are not stepping up to say, this is the parameters in which you live. Restoring your integrity, having dignity, having respect and trust in yourself and getting it from others, and nurturing your soul. Because when you're telling me, you get to a stage where that is what nourishes you. Your skin will, give up on you.
The bones will go.
You'll be in a walking chair.
But I thought,
is that soul, that spirit that keeps you happy?
But it's a pity that I agree with you.
And the churches and mosques are not doing it.
Yes, that was where
they're
I was
not
going.
doing it.
They're not doing it. That was where I was going. Do you go to church though?
Lie.
You don't go to church?
Mm-mm.
I see. Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Would you describe yourself? Are you a Christian or a Muslim?
I'm a child of God.
You're a child of God. So
Every
you would
religion,
practice any
every religion is good, so long as it is telling us to do the right thing.
right thing.
If you decipher all the religions, which I've tried to read some of the Quran. I've read the Buddhist, what do they call their own? There's so many of these doctrines. If you go through all of them, they all say the same thing. Love thy neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
Be kind, be hardworking, be honest, be
but
good.
Which of them do you practice?
I just talk to my God.
You talk to your God, okay. How do you do that? You wake up in the morning and you have a quiet, or it's when it occurs to you?
You just breathe. When you get to a consciousness of God, it's not something you do at a time. It is something you live. You just know that you are in God's presence always.
Why I find
it gives you so much joy.
Why I find this interesting is that it is as if I cloned your ideas. I'm just like that too.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, I'm just like that. Though I have an inclination towards Christianity, of the Anglican faith, for want of belonging somewhere. But generally, it's like I say in prayers, you find... I heard a pastor that says that, if you have a woman who cannot pray for, was it 7 hours or something ridiculous? Whereas as far as I'm concerned, if you just as much as all the prayer you need is in the Lord's Prayer.
If that's what works for you,
that will be done.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing.
I said that will be done occasionally, but in that, it's something that takes effort, because particularly when you are young, you're running around looking after children, going to work and all of that. So practicing and trying to nurture your spirit becomes so... A lot of people just plonk it on Sunday. Okay, we'll go and do that one on Sunday. And then that's it. But it is something that you practice. When I was young, my father was Azariah Olusegun Ransome-Kuti, the youngest born of that generation. And he was more of the mystical, beliefs, the Buddhist type thing, So a lot of meditation. He used to wake me up at night, which I thought was very wicked. Then in fact, every Sunday, the guy who brought that particular doctrine to Nigeria was one Pa something in Yaba. So every Sunday, from morning till night, that's where we go and reading this very, very
Buddhism
deep books. No, it was... I can't even remember. There's a lot of books on
mysticism.
On the 5 stages of the soul's evolution and all of that. It was very complicated.
You remember the books? The content?
Unfortunately, they got rotted where I put them, so I don't think I have... I may have 1 or 2 left, but these were heavy stuff that, in fact, I took time because I wanted to be close to my God. That was what I wanted.
Are you close to him now?
Very. Always. So I wanted to be...
Sorry, excuse my bad manners, but everybody has his faults. Bad manners is one of mine. Is he? Do you hear his voice? Some people say it's not anything like that.
You don't need all that.
Do you see visions?
You don't need all of that. No. You just feel it, and if you know that there was God, or whatever you want to call your maker, before there was anything else. So everything must be God.
Do you believe the story of Adam and Eve?
Well, that's a very lovely story.
As far as love stories go.
Fairy story, lovely fairy story. Very nice to tell children.
But you don't.
There was no such thing. You guys who also want information, we now live in an age. It was okay at the time when we didn't have the capacity to explore, to excavate, to study paleontology and, all the sciences that we have now that have given us a fair enough understanding of how the world evolved thousands and thousands and thousands, millennia ago. Even before we came onto the planet, there were dinosaurs. There were no human beings. There were dinosaurs. There were little mammals running around, and then they evolved, and then people, we've had very, very different stages of human beings. We had Neanderthals. We've had Cro-Magnon men. We've had different stages. We've had very different stages of human evolution until we now have Homo sapiens, and we now call ourselves Homo sapiens sapiens. So we have a little bit more information about how we were made and how the world was made. And so you have to understand that if everything now came from this one source, what else is there to believe in?
So you don't think there was a Garden of Eden or something like that?
Well, there must have been.
And the issue of the apple.
No.
Do you think the apple story is a real apple, or it was something representative of the apple? People talk about the female anatomy. What do you think the apple is all about?
Unfortunately, I think when men write these stories.
Oh, you think they're stories?
When men write these stories, because it's only men that tell us that God spoke to them. I haven't seen a female writing anything like this.
That's true.
They tend to want to explain what is happening around them at the time, not even to explain what was happening before that time. Because from the early history that we know, evolution started in Africa. The first human beings were evolved in Africa who behaved like human beings. And the kind of social groupings that they had was very egalitarian. The earliest one that we have been able to document that is still functioning today is in Tanzania, the Hadza tribe. And there's no superiority. Everybody has their job. You're a woman, you do this. You're a man, you do that. It doesn't make you more important or more superior than, everybody just pitches in to make sure that the society functions. And as you evolve in a society, you will pick, the people that have the capacity to deliver on whatever it is you want. You make them the leader in one thing or the other. And that is how society is supposed to grow. Until I think the people in Europe that came after us, who didn't have our own indigenous religions that were egalitarian. You were not superior because you were a man. Our own religion celebrated the female. Our own religions understood the power of the female. But our descendants who now migrated to Europe got into this, some of them who started to read and explore and research, got hold of some of the stories that were coming from the East, so because much of the Bible is about the Arab world, really, and Abrahamic and all of that.
Yeah.
And they got hold of that, and then they wrote something that they felt would suit their own society. And my brothers and sisters here just took the thing,
lock,
stock, and barrel, and said, Jesus, and just ran with it. And they believe.
But what about our own mythology about Obatala and all these things?
Yeah, these are every society has developed stories to explain, because human beings are born to be curious. We want to know why we are here. Why am I suffering? Why do I have to run around to look for food?
What do you think?
So we have to find something that explains that. Why is there the sun is up there and I'm down here, and my harvest is being wiped out? That's what makes us wise as we understand this and explain it.
Auntie, when you say we are curious, do you think we are going to benefit from anything about this adventure of going into space? Do you think there are other terrestrial, what do you call them, beings? You believe in UFOs?
We don't know. I don't believe until I can prove.
If you saw one, would you?
If I saw one, I will have until we talk now. Then I will believe.
If you saw a UFO,
I saw. Oh yeah, Bobo, come. Let's.
Okay, before you go, before you go, I'd just like to ask you: are you in politics in any form, as we speak? Because why I'm saying so is that it would have been nice if someone like you had been in politics.
I did try. I ran in 2011.
You did?
I did. I ran for Senate in 2011.
Which party?
SDP.
Really?
I did.
You got through the primaries?
Yes, of course. Now, I don't think, my dear brothers and sisters, you are not ready for democracy.
Yeah.
You are not ready. Just be honest with yourselves. The stage we are at now is a stage where people are swayed by what benefits them today.
Today, yeah.
They're at that stage, and I think at your last show, I talked about Maslow's needs.
Yeah.
Majority of people just want to eat, they want to enjoy life, they want to have a great time. They're not deep thinkers, and that's normal. It's not everybody that will evolve to levels where they're beginning to think of other people, they're beginning to ready to make sacrifice for other people. My family has always been like that. That we're going to deny ourselves some pleasures to make sure that we have a society we can be proud of. It was something that is instilled, it's probably in our DNA, but the majority of people just want something for themselves. Once they're okay.
And they want it immediately.
So they give them 5,000 naira at election, they will vote for whoever gives them the money. So that is why I think it will be very difficult for people who really care about the society to get into power, because the system will not allow them. The system will not even allow them to get to the primaries, not to talk of running for election. Gani Fawemi lost election.
Yeah.
Femi Falana ran for election and lost. All the people who have been, the only person who has been successful, that's why I'm wishing that he will translate the lessons he learned from his the days of struggle for democracy, and that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yeah.
He did fight with us. We were in the trenches together. He believes in democracy, but I'm sure that he knew that if he wanted to just do pure, let's talk to these people, let's talk grammar and all of that with them, we will not get anywhere.
Well, how do you think he has performed so far?
Well, it's glass half full at the moment. He's done some things right, but there's still ways to go. And I think we can only truly measure his performance at the end of another 2 years.
Well, people say that even though he was in the trenches and so on, he now seems to be irritated by any form of opposition.
This is what I'm saying. You see, our system, that's why I'm telling the people, if you show politicians that you're independent-minded, that you are going to vote for the person that you want to vote for, not because they're going to give you money, you will put all of them in check. And then most of the people who really believe in the people who have the capacity to serve, people will come rushing from Europe, from America, from wherever.
Even from within.
From within. They will rise up and say, my people are ready. They believe that it's the right people. They want the right people. They want the people who have the competence, the capacity, people who have demonstrated that they can do it. They have a business that they've run. They've been successful at it. So then definitely they will know what to do when they get there. When my people get to the point where they're thinking that way, you'll be liberated. Right now, enjoy.
On that note, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for giving me a bit of your time, and I hope I can invite you again to drink from the fountain of your knowledge. There are one or two things I've listened to today that has completely inspired me. Okay, and one is that of discipline. Discipline is the most difficult part of human existence. And I think some of us need to work on it.
Absolutely. If I can inspire Jimi Disu.
You can. Most people don't understand me. I can be a bit forceful, but that's just in doing my job. Right inside me is a very soft underbelly, and my mind is open, and I'm like a sponge. I take big things from various people. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you, because it's not many people that give those of us who have contrary views the opportunity to share with a large audience that you have.
I'm very open-minded.
You know, because most people want people who are going to abuse others and challenge the system and say things that are controversial to make.
No. But I'm open-minded.
The fact is, we have to love each other.
Yeah.
We're brothers and sisters. Nobody has a right to demean anybody else.
Yeah.
We all have a responsibility to lift each other up, love each other up. We're from one Father, whether you say you're a Christian, Muslim, or whatever you want to call yourself. We are from one God, one Father, Mother. I don't even call God Father. I call God the Mother of all.
Yeah.
And we, if we really say we are from the Almighty, have a responsibility to behave like children of the Almighty and love each other.
Also, I think on behalf of a lot of us who think likewise, we would like you to convey a message back to your family for what you have done for Nigeria. Not just Fela, Mrs. Ransome-Kuti, Professor Wole Soyinka, Professor Ransome-Kuti, Dr. Beko Ransome-Kuti, Femi Kuti. This is not just about music, though.
It's a wide range.
It's a wide range. So we'd like you to take that back to the family.
Eniola Soyinka.
Name it. The other doctor, too. Professor,
yes,
Olaokun.
Yes, Moremi.
Whether you like them or you don't like them, one thing that is certain is that the family that you had has contributed a lot to the development of human existence and development of the country, and that must be documented. And I'm doing that just now. So I say thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of the family, I want to say a very big thank you to you and to people like you who are interested in truth, who have passion for development, who have the capacity to keep going, even though there are different things being thrown at you here, there, and everywhere. But getting something from the source and the strength that you have, which the Almighty has given you, to keep shining the torch on the truth and the solutions and the ways forward, and how we can all become a family, a true family, where love and respect and understanding and filling each other's gaps, because we all have our gaps. Right?
Yes.
Stepping up and backing each other up and supporting each other.
Thank
you so much for doing that every day of the year. God bless you, Jimmy.
Thank you.